Hello everyone, we're back. This is Surf, and today we will be talking about money making and trade on the Stoneworks server and Minecraft world building, multiplayer Minecraft world building as a whole. So, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the video, subscribe to your friends, like the video. We're talking nonsense already, we're only 30 seconds in. Let's dive right on in with three parts. First, RP business and occupations. Secondly, RP trade. And lastly, unorthodox methods of money making. It's going to be a big one. Everything is pretty self-explanatory here except the unorthodox methods, which are pretty much taken exclusively from examples on the Stoneworks server. Such as mercenary groups, investment firms, people who like banking, and taxation if that's something that your nation does or plans to do. So let's jump in to RP business and occupations. So first of all, if you're trying to go for immersion, if you're role playing on the server and you want to get some money, abide by your sort of prefix, your role that you got on the server. That's the easiest thing you can possibly do. I'm not a donator on the server personally, but I can give you a list of all of the non-donator jobs / roles / prefixes that they have. These include brawler, monk, janitor, soldier, miner, baker, hunter, gardener, nomad, constable, merchant, builder, mystic, blacksmith, scribe, drunkard, banker, herbalist, librarian, bard, jester, engineer, armorer, mage, welder, knight, farmer, bartender, squire, fisherman, and noble. You can do all of those things. Also, you can change between them without consequence. Exceptions that I didn't mention are bandits and pirates. That is like a 24-hour cooldown. It's in the rules. I can't explain all of that because I don't have it memorized. I don't have it in front of me. But there is bandits and mercenary roles. You can play a bad guy if you'd like. However, restrictions do apply. So be prepared for that. So if you're planning on making a business outside of the local scale for people outside of your town or village that you're in, I'd recommend starting a Discord. Start gathering employees if you're going to be operating on that big of a scale. But generally, make a Discord and start advertising it. You can put your business on the Stoneworks Server archive, get yourself some advertising done there, and generally let people know what you are all about. In terms of, what would you call it? Formatting for any shop blocks, it goes like this. You got a chest, you put all the items in the chest, put a sign on the chest, and it has to be in this format. First line, your username, your in-game name. Secondly, the number of blocks you're selling or buying per transaction. That goes on the second line. Third line is B for buy or S for sell, both of these capital, followed by the number sign and the price per transaction for this. And lastly, on the fourth line, you're going to need the name of the item that you're selling. With those 4 lines, you should get a little thing in the chat that says it's been successfully made, the shop has been successfully made, and you can do this over with as many items as you want. And you can fill a whole room with them and make a whole shop thing. Lastly, for this section, if you're selling things of a higher quality but a less quantity, you could always go with the auction house. That's /AH in the chat in the Stoneworks server. Do that, and you can see what everyone's got selling so far. A lot of the time, it's minerals such as diamonds, netherite, enchantment books, things that you can't really commonly mass produce, or things that are very difficult to mass produce, and selling them for something that's pretty worth it, monetary compensation, as you might say. And that's how a lot of people in the server make their money. They find something of value that they can't sell at spawn, like gold or iron and put that on the auction house. I've seen a lot of people actually recently selling books that they've written on the auction house, and that can get you some money if you're of that persuasion. If you're of the creative persuasion and your name carries a little bit of weight on the server and you have name recognition, people will buy books from you talking about literally anything, provided they think it's practical. Moving on to section 2, RP trade. And if you've been playing on the server for a while, or you're a leader of a nation, or you're writing treaties for people, you may already know this, but trade as a international concept on the server pretty much means nothing. If you're writing a treaty and it mentions trade, it's all about mending relations and cementing more positive interactions between the two nations rather than actually trade in and of itself. And it's not easy to do on its own in a vacuum. So I've got a couple solutions that might make the concept of trade on the server a bit more practical. And in my opinion, the way to fix this is contracts between settlements, contracts between cities, contracts between businesses, contracts between nations. Get written documentation of trades that you want to do and hold people to it. This can be items for cash or items for other items. What we can start seeing if we start using this is a thriving caravan sort of subculture within the server where people's jobs circulate around delivering an amount of material from one city to another or from one nation to another. It'll really give the logistics companies on the server that already exist a lot more to do. Also, it'll keep the bandit and pirate populations on the server much more active, much more sort of going around, more practical instead of going from town to town and seeing who they can pick off as it has been going previous. I think a massive uplifting of commerce culture and highwayman/bandit culture will really, really give a server a flavor boost that it really needs. Practically, it'll keep the pirates and the bandits outside city walls when there's a lot of commerce flowing, physically flowing from one city to another and the next. Sea trade also, specifically if you're in Eldham, where the sea is much more relevant, perhaps, than it is on Rathnir, just how it's laid out. This can also kickstart more jobs for mercenary companies, and also dedicated caravan businesses and just bodyguards of all persuasions. I'm sort of geeking over it just thinking about it. With these contracts and everything that they could entail, consequences and all. Grab a horse, grab a mule, grab some grab some shulkers, start making contracts, get white wool from one side of the server to the other, and make mad cash. To make factories. We're gonna start mass producing wool, mass producing wheat, get it to new players that don't have farms or towns. Start creating these apparatuses for people for free food all around the server within different nations, and the nations compensate you instead of individuals. The possibilities are pretty much endless. It's crazy. Lastly but not leastly, in our third category, we have the unorthodox methods of money making. Unorthodox, at least in my opinion. And I already mentioned mercenaries, but these guys end up on the list. Hired combat help whenever you need it, whether you're in a war or you need some intimidation factor, whatever circumstances would lead you to need a mercenary group. Mercs as a whole, I would consider out there. unorthodox, but definitely respected within the server. Other things are like investment guilds, like the Guild of Land Investors. There's a Eldham war gambling server that you can participate in that I think it's entertaining just to look at. And also, if you're a town leader or a nation leader, taxation, because that comes with the plugin. Personally, I don't recommend taxation because people who join your town can just see that there's a tax coming every so often and just join a new town or a new nation where there's no taxes. But overall, taxes they still exist in the server, and you can make money off of them provided you get enough people to tolerate it. But tell me what you think. How are you making money on the server? Do you want more employees for your business? Are you trying to get people to start a business with you? Talk to each other in the comments. And tell me all about your business dealings and how you got rich. If that's your story. So don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe. And next episode is not going to be a Minecraft one. I think you'll enjoy it though. And we're doing Stoneworks and something else now. We're also doing other things. It's my channel. I do what I like. All right. See you next time.